welcome to Two Therapists Gaming. I'm Mike.
I'm Rich.
And we are playing today Mass Effect 2, one of our favorite games. And we are both therapists. We are both working with clients. I'm a licensed psychologist working in private practice. I have my Ph.D. in counseling psychology.
I have my master's degree in marriage and family therapy. I'm a licensed associate therapist, working towards full licensure, also working in private practice.
Yeah. And when we're not seeing clients, we love to hang out, we love to play some games, we love to talk about psychology, talk about therapy, talk about our experiences. And that's why we're doing this channel. That's why we're doing this series right here. Is we want to, overarching, we want to destigmatize talking about mental health. And show a little vulnerability that, is kind of something we haven't seen a lot when people are sitting down talking about video games, is how they connect to the stories that they're playing through and the choices they're making.
I mean, and even if mental health is too strong a word or too technical, like even just a level of just emotional vulnerability, just being able to talk about the meaning in these games and how they impact us as humans through this art form. I mean, it's like movies, it's like books, it's like these stories and these characters. So yeah, I think that's something we're really excited about talking through, adding our insight as mental health professionals to that mix.
And with Mass Effect 2, I think the whole Mass Effect series, we have such an engaging story where you're making choices, you're being put in these moral situations where you're jumping into this character's life and trying to figure out who they are and who you want to be through them, the type of identity you want to embody.
Yep.
And
well, should we jump into a new game?
Let's jump into a new game. Let's get this started.
So maybe while this is coming up and stuff, we can talk a little bit more about why this game. What do you feel like?
Yeah. So this game is one that we both resonated quite a bit with when it first came out. We've both done multiple playthroughs through this. We both, tried different parts of the story, different kind of playthroughs with different characters, different approaches. And it's, for me at least, it's a very cathartic kind of experience of being able to put myself into the shoes of this character, be able to engage with creating relationships and interacting with other characters in this universe, and just weaving through this intricate story. And it's something that I was able to see bits and pieces of myself coming through, and it was just a masterful experience when I first played it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you're the one that introduced me to this game, and then, yeah, I think I've played through it probably 4 times.
Yes.
Maybe 5. I don't know. But yeah, I think the choices that you're able to make, the way that it puts you in the driver's seat in kind of deciding the kind of person you want to be, that role-playing aspect to it, and kind of trying it on.
Yeah.
And the story's just epic.
Yes. And as therapists, it takes on a kind of a new meaning, as we work a lot with relationships. We work a lot with communication skills, and we get to see how Commander Shepard, your main character, navigates and balances different relationships. And I think that's one thing that these BioWare games specifically can do, is you can't make everybody happy, which is a good reflection of real life. You can try, but there's someone who's going to be a little bit bugged. You can't be full on buddy with every single person in here. You have to ruffle at least a couple feathers.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Just love this introduction to the game.
Yeah. And my introduction to the Mass Effect series was actually pirating the first game.
Yes.
And then I felt so guilty that I had to go back and buy it on 2 different platforms. Back on Xbox 360 and then on PC. But I was hooked, and so I was anxiously awaiting this game coming out on PlayStation 3, and that's how I introduced it to you.
Yep. Got a PlayStation 3, I think, mostly to play this.
Yeah. That was the sole reason to do this back.
Yeah. I mean, there were some other wins in there. Yeah, I got Borderlands and Borderlands 2. And
yes.
That was epic. Maybe we can do some playthrough of that. I don't know. It's maybe not quite the same.
Yes, the psychology of Borderlands. That would be an interesting study. Oh, snap.
Here we go.
He's definitely dead.
Kinetic barriers down.
Yeah.
Multiple hull breaches. Weapons offline. Somebody get that fire out.
Yeah, just not how you expected the follow-up to a very popular game to start.
Yeah. Yeah. All your heroes getting wrecked.
With putting up no fight.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't even get a shot off. They don't do anything.
Yeah.
In the first game, I was Team Ashley Williams. I did not save Gaten.
Yeah. Me too, I think. Okay, here we go. I just love that close-up. Shaky cam close-up? What is it?
Shaky cam close-up, the
Okay.
worst silence in the world.
Yeah. But immediately faced with one of those choices of, are you going to be all snarky and angry about it? Or...
Are you still going to be that prototypical shepherd who's the leader, who's the hero?
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, you can get snarky or...
Yeah.
I need you to get the crew onto the evac shuttle. I'll take care of Joker.
Commander.
Ashley, go. Now.
Epic visor turn.
Yes. Yes. And I just love how, there's that, of course, Shepard will handle that one thing in the burning, exploding ship.
Yes. He's got it.
Easy.
He's got it. Oof. Ouch.
Yeah. And I don't know, I mean, we're being all flippant and stuff, but to kind of dive into that, how... I don't know, and I get this true of the life of any soldier, really, but just that constant threat of sometimes someone's gonna die, and it might be you, and how terrifying that can really be. And these characters always kind of keep their cool and
Have
all
the
that.
right response, and you have time to give a response.
Yeah.
No, that's the hard part about these very trauma-related experiences is you're never fully safe.
Yeah.
Just flying through space, everything's great, and suddenly you're just attacked.
Ooh. This part's pretty.
Yes. And you have the breathing to contrast the cacophony of noises of the ship being ripped apart.
Yeah. Well, and the breathing that really helps.
Yeah.
I don't know. Be breathing a little faster if I were him.
This would be a very panic-inducing thing for most people. I'm outside of my ship in space.
Yeah.
And where I shouldn't be outside
Hello,
of my ship.
space. There it is.
Yes, and bonus points for hitting every chair.
Yes, thank you. That was deliberate.
Oh, good old Joker.
Yeah, here we go.
Come on, Joker. We have to get out of here.
No, I won't abandon the Normandy. I can still save her.
I do wonder, how he thinks that's even possible.
Because he has no rear view mirror. I mean, that's if he had a rear view mirror and to look
Yeah,
back,
maybe.
oh, my ship is gone.
Surely there's got to be some information in front of him. Half the ship is exploded.
You'd hope so. At least a rear view camera or something.
Oh. Damn.
Yeah, going back to what you're saying, just the constant threat of there's something that's going to go wrong, or could go wrong at any time.
Yeah.
I mean, we as humans, we get freaked out if we have a dream that we're falling out of bed, we start ourselves awake, or we miss a step.
Yeah.
And think of how anxiety-provoking that is to miss the last step on your flight of stairs.
Yeah.
And then think about just having your ship cut in half.
Right.
And you being launched into space with everyone that you know.
Oh, I think I just realized how Joker survived.
Huh.
I've played this. I've always wondered
How he
did
survived
just
this crap,
that
yeah.
moment. But the last thing that Shepard did before he got flipped out into space is push the button to send the pod out. I never noticed that until right now.
Yeah, one last heroic act.
Ugh, what a boss. But then panic. Like, what?
Absolutely.
What do you do with this? Air's escaping. You're in space. You're alone.
Yeah. The existential terror of running out of air.
Yeah, what are those thoughts?
Whew. What an intro.
Yeah. Welcome, everyone, to Mass Effect 2.
Yes. Or when you were first playing this, like, okay, that was a very short game.
Well, that's right.
I think I won. I pushed the button.
I said those two things to those two people.
I cursed a couple times.
Hit some chairs.
Hit
like
some
a boss.
Hit some chairs.
Which, I mean, you and I have talked about it before, but, like, I just think it's hysterical that those chairs are just sitting there floating perfectly.
Commander Shepard has been recovered.
Yeah. They didn't float off. They didn't fly out. They didn't get caught by gravity of the planet around there. They just are hovering right there for you.
Yup.
So, Commander's really fractured right now. I mean, he's completely dead.
Yeah.
Nothing's working. Every bone in his body's been broken down.
Yep.
And they're rebuilding him, which is a little bit interesting philosophically and psychologically.
Yeah. Yeah, it absolutely brings up the question of, like, what makes you you?
Yeah.
Because I think there's a level which we kind of assume we are our body to some extent. And
we are our brain.
That's fair. Yeah, we are our brain.
If we just put the brain back together, because it just got jettisoned into space and into some atmosphere of some planet, just put that together, it'll be great.
Yeah, let's do a custom thing here. Default appearance, though.
Yeah.
Because who wants to mess with that?
Well, one interesting thing about Mass Effect and this screen right here is, in real life, we're so interested in what we do for work, or what our role is. That's a huge part of identity. Mm-hmm. And I never thought of that before, but here you get to do something that they're all are similar, but I mean that provides part of your identity as well. Yeah. The Shepard who's an engineer is different than the Shepard that's a soldier. Yeah. Different than the Shepard that's a Vanguard or a Sentinel or an Adept that's a biotics user. Biotics?
Yeah. Biotics. Yeah, biotics. Yeah, which will make more sense later for anyone who doesn't know what that means. But I don't know. What do you want to rock? I'm kind of leaning towards Vanguard or Engineer.
Yeah. I played through a number of times on Vanguard. That's the old standby. We could do something new, or we could go with what we know.
Vanguard is just too satisfying.
Yes. That freaking biotic charge.
Alright. So now we got, this is another interesting aspect of Mass Effect is looking at this backstory, kind of like the psychological profile that you can put together for your character. And in each of these, I mean, there's definitely, there's just a lot. There's a lot going on. I mean, Spacer, parents in the military, spent traveling place to place,
never putting down roots, never having
yeah,
consistent relationships with people.
Yeah, which I mean, now, I mean, the kids growing up in the military now have some of that, but I can't imagine when you put that on like a galactic scale of, we're in a different part of space.
Yes.
Now we moved. on a different planet.
We're not just changing language, we're changing species, we're changing what the world is like.
Yeah.
In a very real sense.
Yeah, what the threats are, what the... I mean, everything. That's just all more extreme.
Which can be very jarring.
Yeah. Or we can be a colonist, in a little colony, growing up in a smaller community, but then slavers raided, slaughtering your family and friends.
Yeah.
Everyone you know.
Yeah, you being the sole survivor, basically.
Yeah, which is the epitome of trauma.
Yes.
I mean, you were talking earlier about how, like, we're so affected by, like, falling out of bed or whatever, those little things that can, like, startle us and jar us. But I think, like, another thing to note is that relational threats get processed the exact same way as physical threats in our brain and in our body. And so when you combine those two, of physical threat of you might die, plus the loss, the relationship threat of being alone, being saved by strangers. Yeah, that's an intensely traumatic story.
Yes.
Or we can be Earthborn.
We're basically one of the... This isn't the safest personal background, because, I mean, you were an orphan on this huge megatropolis covering Earth. So you're in crime, you're in a gang, you have that as your family growing up, and then you enlist in the military. Yeah. So again, a lot of trauma of being an orphan.
Yeah.
Raised on the streets, homelessness.
Yeah, they want us to have a traumatized story, which I think that's such an interesting, I guess, theme that shows up in every kind of storytelling. Video games, books, all of my favorite books I can think of. There's always a trauma story.
Yeah,
there's always that pain that. And I think we all like that as a theme because we all have trauma.
Yes. And we can resonate with the desire to overcome trauma.
Yeah.
Because with everything, it starts out as the fatal flaw. The person's the orphan. The person's has no family. He's moving from place to place. These are the fatal flaws that didn't allow development to happen as it maybe he would have hoped, or the family would have hoped. But I think we do resonate with that, overcoming trauma, overcoming what's been given us.
Yeah, for sure. And now we get another layer of it. Being a sole survivor in your military service, a war hero, facing an overwhelming enemy foe, risking your own life, all these things. And then Ruthless, where yeah, he just turned cold.
Yeah.
Which, is, one way to handle trauma, for sure. I think we'll go with
sole survivor.
The layers of trauma here.
Yeah. Very much layers of trauma. That's how we roll.
Oh, I went with John. That's boring. Oh well.
Yeah.
So be it.
All right, John. It just doesn't have the same ring as something like Zothar or...
Right. Yeah. I don't know what other good ones.
Zeus. That's more of a name for a Great Dane.
Ugh. I like how they include that breathing.
Yeah.
Damn it, Wilson. He's not ready yet. Give him the sedative. Shepard, don't try to move. Just lie still. Try to stay calm.
Heart rate's still climbing.
Try to stay calm.
Yeah.
When she says, damn it, he's not ready.
Yes, the strange person, two strange people is hovering over you.
Yeah.
And granted, Shepard may not remember anything about how he died, or that he was dead. He may not even remember the last... We don't know how much his memory's intact, and this is a risk for them, as we'll learn. This organization that's putting them back together, is they don't know what's there still.
Wake up, Commander.
Yeah.
If anyone's gone through a surgery, got your wisdom teeth out, and you remember
Yeah.
the disorientation of coming to, and just what's going through your mind and trying to reorient to reality, that's scary enough as is.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And to have these moments where, yeah, it's just where what she's saying, we almost lost him, right? I mean, even like it's barely conscious.
Yeah.
We almost lost him, almost died, even just laying on a table. Not in the ship that's exploding, just laying on a freaking table.
Just laying on a table.
Oh, I suppose I should actually do this.
This
Oh,
pistol doesn't have a thermal clip.
always so needy. Always so needy, Shepard.
Got it. They going down now. I don't know, and then it's just like you wake up to you gonna die. Someone's here to kill you.
Yes, and bodies on the ground.
I can't play keyboard and mouse. That would be better. Yeah.
So bodies on the ground, things shooting at you. Someone's yelling at you to get a gun,
Yeah.
and you don't know where you are. There's all the hallmarks of disorientation.
Yeah.
Nice. Granted, Shepard's been through a lot. Being in the military, all the events of the previous Mass Effect. But still, he has no idea where he is. No idea who's yelling at him, if he can trust the person yelling at him.
Yeah.
No idea just what's going on. He just sees... Yeah. He still hasn't seen a living person yet besides that little...
Yeah, only threats.
Yeah.
More reinforcements heading your way. Grab the grenade launcher. Here come the mechs. Use the grenade launcher to take
Buh.
them out.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
It's like, where is it?
Just a little caveat as we get started with this. We played this on PlayStation. It's a little bit different than the mouse and keyboard.
One floor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta remember, mouse wheel switches weapons. That's much easier.
Okay.
Hurry! Get to the door. Run!
Running through fire.
You're doing good, Shep. Head to the next.
Oh.
Shepard, free
And then again, that relational threat, losing
Yes.
contact with the only person who is a stranger, but at least is a person.
The only living voice they've had.
Oops.
Again, that when I first played that scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Having those things just crawling around.
subject shows signs of recovery. Major organs are again functional and there is
I'm always cracked up by this thing in these games, like random encrypted, highly secure information that's just on a computer that you can helps move the story forward.
Yes, one tap.
Uh-oh. Now we get cognitive tests.
I just woke up. It's not the time for cognitive tests. Doing great.
Oof. Did it.
Again, not a very good security system for the future.
Yeah.
Or like 300 years or whatever it is in the future.
Yeah. Connect the dots. That'll keep them out.
But make him do it fast.
Yeah.
Like in 3 seconds.
Yeah. Fast connect the dots. They'll never get it.
Never get that. Oh, you just gotta love that design.
Yes.
Oh,
What do we got?
someone else is
toast.
dead.
Wow, gratuitous violence. And you gotta appreciate the brutality of, like, that was not like the easy or the cleanest way to kill that person. It's like,
No.
brutal on purpose. Hey, look, it's a person that's alive and actually fighting back.
Yes.
So I need to help.
Yeah.
I wonder if I just left him to, like...
I think you'd eventually do it.
Doing here? Thought you were still working.
So we got a conversation.
I need answers. Yes, I think to validate,
Yeah.
like,
This.
part of Shepard is like...
Yeah. That would be a very understandable reaction.
Yeah, that desperation, that like, what the... What's going on?
Yeah, sorry. I forgot this is all new to you right now. I'm Jacob Taylor. I've been stationed here for...
Hostiles detected.
And what an odd thing that, like, yeah, everyone else is in the know. Like, well, what a shock.
Things must be worse than I thought if Miranda's got you.
Everyone else knows something that you don't about yourself.
Yeah.
About why you're here.
Yeah.
It seems normal to everyone else that you're here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna...
You don't remember Jack.
I'll follow you.
First step, let's finish off these metal bastards. We're low on thermal clips, but I'm a biotic. Just give the order when you want me
I
to...
like how he calls their own security drones metal bastards.
Yes, the same security drones that were protecting him probably an hour before this is now the bane of his existence.
Alright, need to get better at clicking on faces. Oh, come on. Give me that headshot. Give me that headshot. I'm so bad at this. We'll get there.
I think they're gonna keep sending mechs at you until you do his power.
Oh, you're right. I'm just practicing my aim.
Yeah. No worries.
Routing power.
Target down! Ready to get the hell off this station?
No, sir.
Go anywhere. I need to
Just puts the hand.
Yeah.
Whoa. I don't even remember your name.
Yeah. And I think, like, yeah, so much going through your head in this moment.
2 years rebuilding me? How bad were my injuries?
Oh, look at your face, buddy.
He hasn't seen a mirror
When I
yet.
first saw
Yeah.
you were nothing but meat and tubes. Anywhere else,
Ugh,
they'd put you in a
what a
box.
thing to hear about yourself.
Project Lazarus was different.
Yeah, meat and
Cutting-edge
tubes.
technology.
And those weren't even your tubes. Probably.
Clones?
Yeah.
Cybernetics?
I don't know the details. You'd have to ask.
Yeah,
the
trying to
scientists.
grasp at, like, what am I?
I'm sure you're
Yeah.
not a clone.
What am I?
They wanted to bring you back exactly as you were. You're still you. You just might have a few extra bits and pieces now.
And what a contradiction in some ways. Like, you're still you, but extra crap.
There's some extra stuff we put in you that's you don't know.
And plus, you were dead for 2 years.
And plus, you were dead
But
for
you're
2 years.
just shrug it off, man.
Yeah.
Technology fixes everything.
Yeah.
What else? What else? Oh yeah, who's this crazy person that will?
Someone named Miranda was talking to me over the radio.
Yeah.
We lost contact just before I ran into you.
Miranda Lawson is the station's ranking officer. She led the Lazarus team. It was her job to bring you back to life, no matter what. Should have guessed she'd try to save you. She's not about to give up on you now.
So you know the person who's responsible for you being alive. Ish. Now.
There was some gunfire and an explosion right before I lost her.
She knows how to
Yeah,
secure
now
herself.
yeah, he's getting quizzed. Like, you're in the middle of this like absolutely terrifying traumatic experience, and do you remember what was happening? I heard gunfire, and what do you freaking want from me, Jacob?
Yeah. Come on, man. Give me a break.
And meanwhile, all the violence is continuing in the background.
Yeah, you have that nice soundtrack of just people
The last thing I
screaming.
remember is the Normandy blowing up. Did anyone else make
Yeah,
it?
well, that last thing I remember
Everybody survived.
is the blowing up
From
thing.
lower decks didn't get out. Navigator Presley was killed by an explosion. But everyone else, including the non-alliance crew, the Asari, Liara, and Aquarian, they all made it out alive.
You know
Where
what
are
any
they?
of them are doing now?
I don't know, Commander. It's been 2 years. They've
Ah.
moved on. Left the Alliance.
2
Could be
years.
anywhere.
So you've been dead
I want
for
to find them.
2 years.
If they knew I was alive, they'd come back.
Maybe you can track them down after we get off the station. If we get off the station.
Ooh, dun dun dun.
What's the quickest way
Dramatic
to
look off.
Depends where the mechs are thickest. It's probably best that you...
Check. Anyone on this frequency? Anybody still alive out there? Hello?
Jacob. I'm here with Commander Shepard. Just took out a wave of mechs over in D-Wing.
Shepard's alive? How the hell? Never mind. You need to get him out of there. Get to the service tunnels and head for the network control room.
Roger
He's
that,
a little
Wilson.
surprised to
Stay
hear
on
you're
this
alive.
frequency.
Who that
I think
is?
I remember a Wilson checking on me one time when I woke up.
That's him. He's the chief medical tech. Answers directly to Miranda.
And I kind of appreciate the script writing in a different way, like the fact that like, you can kind of feel that like him trying to like connect the dots and make sense out of what he's experiencing, which I think is like really spot on. Like that's what
Yeah.
that's what your brain's trying to do in this moment of like
Just gather piece after piece, trying to put things together, figure out where you are, what's real, what's not. Is this a dream? Who are these people?
ominous giant
We've been
footsteps.
spotted.
Yeah,
Come on.
I think you can. I think you can do the charge too.
Oh, let's do it. Oh, there it is. I
That.
missed that.
That is satisfying.
How do I
Find us another
Melee?
Malin? Do you know?
preferably one that doesn't lead straight
I
into
don't
an
know.
enemy
I don't remember.
Just keep moving toward
We'll
the control
figure it out.
Yeah.
Don't get pinned down. I'll see what I can do.
All right. Let's move. Running. I'm getting flanked.
Down here!
Oh,
Bastards got me in the leg!
again, they're
I
all security
remember
bots.
you.
Yeah.
You were there the first time I regained consciousness.
Yeah, that was me. We talk about this after we fix my leg.
He's got a point.
Should be some
Yeah.
Medi-gel in the first aid station on the wall. Hopefully there's enough to get him up and moving again.
I'd like to know
The
who
Medi-gel
named
from
it
the first aid
Medi-gel.
station on the wall.
The Unity or the wave of your hand, you can walk again.
Thanks, Shepard. I never thought you'd save my life. Guess that makes us even now. I thought maybe I could shut down the security mechs. But whoever did this fried the whole system. Completely irreversible.
We didn't ask what you were doing. Why do you even have security mech clearance? You were in the bio wing.
Weren't you listening? I came here to try and fix this. Besides, I was shot. How do you explain that?
A little defensive.
You don't really have a positive response option right here. I don't trust any of you, or quit bickering. Let's get out of here.
We're all strangers to me.
Oh, that,
Someplace safe.
the hand motion.
Well, yeah, that is a very good hand motion. Just,
Need to
well,
find Miranda. Can't leave her
just
behind.
frustration,
Forget about
dismissive.
Miranda. She was over in D-Wing. The mechs were all over that sector. There's no way she survived.
A bunch of mechs won't drop Miranda. She's alive.
Then where is she? Why haven't we heard from her? There are only two possible explanations. She's either dead or she's a traitor.
But she tried to help me.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Then why did you wake me up and warn me about the attack?
Okay, maybe she's not a traitor, but that doesn't change the facts. We're here, she's not. We need to save ourselves. The shuttle bay is only a few.
He's weirdly intense about this.
Yes.
Overload the canisters to clear a path to the shuttles.
Overload.
Bazinga.
That's it. Let's get out of here.
Now they're dead.
Okay, we took him down. But this is getting tense.
Getting?
Way to read the room, Jacob. Way to read the room.
Time, Jacob.
We won't
It's
make
really
it
in the
if we
moment.
expect to
Yes,
shot back.
he's very tuned in. He's very keyed into what's going on.
Mindful.
Lazarus Project, a program that rebuilt you. It's funded and controlled by Cerberus.
Cerberus. Three-headed dog that guarded the realm of the
I
dead?
think I ran into Cerberus a few times while I was investigating.
Oh yeah, is that what
Some kind of
Cerberus is?
pro-human split
Sounds
group,
right.
I think so.
Yeah,
I'll have to brush up on my
Yeah.
mythology.
for sure.
There's more to it. The Alliance declared you dead. They gave up. Cerberus spent a fortune to bring you back. Look, I'd be suspicious too. But right now we have to work together.
So getting in Commander Shepard's head, you have this powerful organization who brought you back to life, put extra bits and pieces in you. You don't know where you are, and now there's a person named the Elusive Man.
Yeah. Who has the answers.
Maybe.
You just got to go find him.
Yes.
Somewhere.
Elusively. Just, yeah.
Yeah. That's the point where you're like, fine.
Well, if I won't get any more answers here, let's get moving.
It's not much farther to the shuttle bay.
Da, 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 da. Do I want to even hack this?
You gotta use your arrows.
Oh, oops.
You can't go over those red things.
Alright. Does it matter if I hack this?
No. But it is a matter of pride. That's the one problem with playing some of these games is you can tend to be a bit of a completionist.
What do you got? Space. Uh-huh. Oh no. I do it. Oh, that's not it. Yikes. Aha. It wasn't even close.
60% of the time works every time. More dead people you just stepped over, by the way.
Yeah, just casually running on by. Just.
Systems active.
Oh.
Threat neutralization.
Oh. Wow, that was a slow draw. Shepard, let's work on that, buddy.
Gotta hurt.
He has been dead for 2 years. You imagine that things are a little rusty.
Come on, through here. We're almost at the Miranda, but you were.
Oof.
Toast.
Dead.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah. It's a good reaction,
My
Jacob.
job. Wilson betrayed us all.
I think that's my favorite reaction.
He's
Shepard.
already
He's
pointing
already
a
pointing
gun.
his weapon. He's already
Yeah.
just saying, okay, hold on. I've been alive for about 15 minutes. And then you just shot the second person I've met. This is my boundary.
Yeah.
Speaking of boundaries.
Healthy boundary.
Miranda doesn't seem too affected. She's just staring straight at
He deserved that well.
Yeah.
He sabotaged the security systems, killed my staff, and he would have killed us.
You sure about that, Miranda? We've known Wilson for years. What if you're wrong?
I'm never wrong. I thought you'd have learnt that by now, Jacob.
Oh,
Yeah. Well,
okay.
If you say so. What's our next step?
Get on
so
Shepard's
it's
side.
not
My
smooth.
boss wants to speak to you.
Yeah.
You mean the Elusive Man? I know you work for Cerberus.
Ah, Jacob. I should have known your conscience would get the better of you.
Lying to the commander isn't the way to get him to join our cause.
No,
Well,
it's
since
not.
we're getting everything out in the open,
And to
is
learn
there anything else
learn
you can ask
that
before
she
we
would
go,
rather
Commander?
keep the secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's this random person. She apparently saved your life. And now she's the one that like wants to keep secrets from you.
Yes. The entire wherever they are is going to hell. And she's like, no, I'd rather not tell you why
I've
we're
had
doing
enough of
this.
this station
Yeah.
to last a lifetime.
Ain't that the
Or
truth?
two, in your case. Come on.
Now she's cracking wise about the fact that
It's always a good sign when someone starts cracking jokes after they shoot someone in the face.
right, and said they'd rather lie to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before you meet with the Elusive Man, we need to ask a few questions to evaluate your condition.
What, we have to do this now?
We should have done weeks of testing to confirm the success of Project Lazarus. A few questions during the shuttle ride will have to suffice.
Okay. You enlisted when you survived a Thresher Maw attack that wiped out the rest of your team. Do you remember that?
So we're asking about his painful past. They're seeing if his memory's intact. Basically doing the Mass Effect version of a mini mental status examination.
Mm-hmm.
Can you think? Can you reason? Do you know your history? Do you know why you're here?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Are you connected with reality?
Yeah. But again, I like how they kind of give you this choice of like how are you emotionally engaging with what happened as well,
Uh-huh.
where you can acknowledge this kind of vulnerable thing. That was really painful for me, or be defensive and shut down, like not talking about it,
We're done here.
or this. kind of oversimplifying, taking all the credit of like I'm just hardcore.
Or even tuning out his emotional experience.
Yeah.
It was a choice. I just refused to die. What do you mean
Lost a lot
painful?
of friends that day. Going through something like that changes you. It can break you if you let it.
I read the report. 50 Marines died on a cruise. You were the only one who lived. Satisfied, Miranda?
Almost. Let's try something more recent.
Little sassy Jacob.
Vermeer, where you destroyed Saren's cloning facility. You had to leave one of your squad behind to die in the blast.
Lieutenant Caden Alenko was killed in action. It was your call. Why did you leave him behind?
Another spectrum of emotional responses, or at least emotional kind of givenness.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. And I think in some ways we're kind of trained that like the norm would be to do one of the bottom two.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to kind of like just turn it off.
Yeah.
Like, I just had to survive. It's just what we do. Like,
Which I wouldn't blame him.
yeah.
Being having the day he's had,
Yeah.
or the 2 years he's had being dead, and then suddenly alive again, trying to figure out who he is, where he is, what's
I
going
understand,
on.
Commander.
Yeah.
I wasn't judging your decision. Everybody at Cerberus knows that cloning facility had to be destroyed.
It is.
There are other tests we really should run.
Come on, Miranda. Enough with the quizzes.
It is interesting to note how Jacob is a little bit protective of Shepard. Miranda's all business,
We'll have to hope the elusive man accepts
no emotionality, but Jacob is very defensive.
Yeah. And certainly more emotionally responsive, relationally
Yes.
responsive of like, all right, you know, Shepard's a little vulnerable and says these were hard choices that I had to make and it sucked.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no one's doubting you, man. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably a good stopping point for this first episode. If you have any comments or questions, we'd definitely love to hear them in the comments below. If you have any suggestions about what you'd like us to talk about as we're going through this, we're new to this. We'd love your feedback. I don't know, any other last thoughts?
Yeah. And if we miss something, I mean, we're going to go through this, we're going to play through this, and we're going to have our point of view, our perspective. We're not going to catch every interesting psychological aspect of the game. So if we miss something, bring it up, and we'd love to look for it. We'd love to talk about it. We'd love to kind of keep an eye on those things that are interesting to you guys. But yeah, no, we're excited to play through this, and we'll keep guiding good old Commander Shepard through his reconstruction of his entire life and who he is.
Yes, and his identity. But more on that in the next episode of Two Therapists Gaming.
Yeah.
See you next time.
We'll see ya.